Hey everyone, I am going to be breaking down my favorite graphic resource, which is PicMonkey. I know some of you use Canva, which is awesome. That one's really great as well. I use different apps for my own personal social media as far as putting up my selfies. What do I use? I use Photofi. A lot of times I'll kind of show you guys actually some of the apps that I use. But for PicMonkey, that is what I use for challenge groups. That is what I use for shout outs and things like that. So I'll kind of show you what I use and then we'll go ahead and get into PicMonkey. I love PicMonkey. So if I click my photos, I love that you guys interacted with that today. A lot of times you're going to see my photos, actually all of my photos that I make. I have what is this called? A border, a white border. Do you guys ever notice that? I always use the same border, and I actually go to PicMonkey, not PicMonkey. I go to Photofi. And when I go to Photofi, let me look into it. So Photofi, P-H-O-T-O-F-Y is what I use. So if I go to photos and collages, I pick one. And then what I'll do is I'll just go to Insta Square. And then as I do that, little baby Beckham, I was zooming with him today, it creates that white border. And then I'm going to hit apply, hit save, and then voila, I'm done. And then I'll upload it. Another resource I love for graphics is Aviary, Avari. I don't know how to say it. And that's what I use to blur out my pictures. If I just want to focus myself, and I'll blur it all around. So that's Aviary. And then actually PicMonkey and Canva, there is an app for those two. I don't use them though. So the main thing that I use is Photofi and the Avari. And then another one I like to use is Studio app, Studio, and WordSwag. I'll use those. I try not to put a lot of wording on my graphics. I think it's too busy sometimes as I go, but let's see if I can see another one. But you can see I have a theme with mine. I always have this white border unless I'm getting tagged in something, but I always try to keep that, especially with, oh, here's an example of the white border, especially with Instagram. That's what I do. But for this graphic right here, this shout out, I use PicMonkey for this. And again, PicMonkey is in an app. I don't use the app on my phone. I would rather work from my computer than my phone. For those of you who work mainly from your phone, you're amazing. That's just not necessarily my style. And then lastly, let me show you one that I just used. This is WordSwag. This one right here with the wording. And then let me see. I just used one with the black and white filter right here. So this one is called, so what you can see is I colored in Energize. So everything else is black and white, but my Energize is popping, and this app is called ColourPop. The only thing with ColourPop is that it's going to put, I do not like having the, oh my gosh, what is that called? I'm sorry. They have like the name of the app on your picture when you save it. So as I did the ColourPop, I take a screenshot and then I go edit it. And so then I have it, and then I go to Photofi and make the outlines, because I don't want to have photo pop in the corner. I don't want to have Photofi. I actually paid, I think, $2 to remove the watermark is what it's called with Photofi. I did not pay for ColourPop because I only use ColourPop every once in a while, and I was like, I'm not going to pay to have the watermark removed, but that's always an option. But you can go around the option, and that's what I did. If you are a creator of PhotoPop and you're listening to this video, please don't sue me or do anything along those lines. I totally just helped other people with your app and told them to go around it, and yeah. So PicMonkey, I'm going to show you a little bit about what I do with PicMonkey and how I utilize it, and then we'll go ahead and get started. The biggest thing I want for you guys, first of all, thanks for being on. You all are amazing and you're wanting to grow. I do these Tuesday night Zooms to teach you small skills that turn into big skills. So if I go to the photos, I use PicMonkey. And honestly, you guys, when I first started using PicMonkey, it was overwhelming and I hated it, but I stuck to it, okay? This is PicMonkey. I use everything with PicMonkey, so you can kind of start to see what I use. This is PicMonkey. You can kind of see that I use the same couple of texts, and that's just my style. You can totally change it up if you want to. Here's another one. This is PicMonkey. But just to give you an idea, I use them for my challenge groups. I use them for shout outs, and I use them for our leaderboards. This is all PicMonkey, which is awesome. And I feel like the more this, again, when a new coach, I always do a similar thing, and this is PicMonkey. So as I'm going through, I'm going to see if there's one that's any different. But I definitely, this is PicMonkey. This is PicMonkey. As you guys can see, that's just totally my jam. I use PicMonkey for my chat. This is all PicMonkey right here. So for graphics for our challenge groups, what I like to do is I like to spend one day creating all the graphics for challenge groups. And actually, we just did that one day at a time. I think it's in here. I don't see it. It's oh, it's right here. So I did it very simple, but these are the ones that I made for one day at a time. And this is, again, it's all with PicMonkey, even to here where it's like, what's next? Facebook message your coach. I did PicMonkey for this one day at a time, and that was our main graphic that we used. So that's the secret behind my graphics, and I'm going to take you through them and show you exactly how I do this. So say I was going to make a challenger shout out. What I would do is, if you're a coach admin, you can log into the tracker app. I can go into one day at a time. You cannot do this if you're not a coach admin. If I click coach admins right here, these are all the people who are coach admins. It's just basically you asked to be a coach admin on this. A lot of you are on here. And then you can go in here and you can go to participants, 108 participants. Is that not awesome? And then what I'll do here is I'll click this little workout button, and then I can see who logged in their stuff today. I cannot read the text right now or the chat, so if you want to unmute yourself and ask your comment, you totally can. But I'm going to show you what I do, so you can just interrupt me if you want. So going into PicMonkey, you go to PicMonkey.com. And then you go to design. I hit blank canvas. I have not done the templates a lot. I like creating my own, and I go with a very similar theme. So every time I create a graphic, I always use the same size. So that was something that I taught a crew of people, that when you click my Facebook and you go to my pictures, and if you were on a phone, it's easier when you're on a phone. You know how you can't see the full picture sometimes? That's why I always go to Photify, and that's why I always do the Insta Square. The reason I do the Insta Square is because if I was on my phone right now, besides the pictures I'm tagged in, everything, you can see the whole photo. So I always use the same size, and there's a point to that. It's because if someone were to click my photos, you can see the entire picture of all. So if you guys were to go on your phone right now, go to my photos, and actually my photos, and click it, you would see that you can see the full length of all of my photos, and that's because I always Insta Square. But I do the exact same thing. I'm gonna move this. I do the exact same thing with PicMonkey. So with PicMonkey, I always use the Instagram one, because the one with the photo, this is really small. It's not usually that small. Let me zoom in a little bit. But with, this is like not this small ever, you guys. This is hilarious. I don't know why it is so teeny right now. This is awkward. I don't know if it's because I'm sharing it, but like it's obsessively huge. I am not gonna use this size right now. I don't know if it's because I'm sharing my screen, if it's just making it extra small, but that would, oh, there we go. Okay, we're back in business. But this is why I always use the Instagram for all of my graphics. In Instagram size. And it's nice because it works perfectly for Instagram. It works perfectly for Facebook. It's all the same size. So say I was going to make a shout out. Now, the thing with PicMonkey, I did upgrade. I think it's $10 for the whole year. They could have changed it. I honestly didn't even notice it. It was a really good investment because I get all of, do you see these little crowns? I get every single font. But the really cool thing is you can add in your own fonts. You can actually download fonts, so you don't have to pay for it if you don't want to. and add fonts in there, but I really like using my main ones, so I don't think you have to pay. Again, PicMonkey, if you're checking this out, you don't offer it in a requirement to purchase. But that's just something you can do. So with PicMonkey, I like having a clear background. I like having a bright background, a white background. I'm not really into a whole lot of color, but if you did want to color, you just go up here and say you wanted to pick in here, and you can change it. You can do all these things. And the really cool thing with the color, if I hit apply, there's other things you can do with it. I really don't spend a lot of time doing all of this texture stuff. I really just want to keep it simple, and I'm just messing with this. But what's cool is you can go down the line and you can pick different. So if I click this little, I don't even know, it looks like a little basket thing, for textures, I can pick one and I can add these bubbles to it. Does that make sense? I can add these sparkles to it. I can lighten it. I can change it. I can change the saturation. I can do all these different things. I can create light trails. I can do it all and add all this stuff and make it all fun. But I am pretty simplistic, so I like to keep my background white unless I'm adding a picture. So how I do that is I go to the butterfly, and I will go to my computer. You can save something. I try to keep my selfies in one organized thing, if that makes sense. So if I'm looking here, and of course, photos and selfies. So right here, just ones that I can go to, that I can create, which is really, really nice. So let's say I want to do this one. I use this sometimes. And again, this is me just taking a selfie. You guys, for so long, I legitimately set my computer up on my toilet because I had a clear background. The wall across from the toilet was white in Milwaukee, and that is what I used because it was a white background. But for this one, I just find a white wall, and I don't have fancy equipment. I was just telling some coaches this. There are other coaches who have all this fancy stuff. I propped my phone on a toilet so I could have a clear white background for a year and a half, and then almost 2 years, and now I prop it on a candle that's right over here, and because I have a white background right behind me, and I just prop it up, put my phone on the timer, and try to get good lighting, and voila. So that's what I do. I know it's not super fancy and crazy and creative, but that is what I do. So if I were to add this picture, there's something really cool that you can do with this, is I could change the color of my photo. If I wanted to do something cool with it. Again, I'm not really into like all the color stuff, but if I click on my photo, I can actually turn myself into colors, which I think is cool and funky if that's totally your thing. But it's not really my thing. So say I have my picture here. I want to do an eraser background. I just want me in the back, okay? There's another way of doing this where if I were to go to color, I can do a transparent canvas. So you can see that there are those squares in the back. So what I can do is I will click on my picture. My picture is clicked, and I'm going to hit eraser. I just erased some of my head. Didn't want to do that, so I'm going to hit the back. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my eraser size larger and my hardness not insane because I'm going to get close to myself. So what I can do is I can actually, and this takes time, I'm doing this really quickly, but you can do this, and I don't like it when people do, like, you can see it like chopped into their legs. Some people do that, and I'm like, no, come on, like, it doesn't look that good. So I like to be really like, I don't like to be all wiggly, you know, when you're doing this. So when you do the eraser hardness, it helps eliminate that choppy look. But I think it's cool when people do this, and it kind of makes me a little bit blurred in there, which is totally fine. It's better than it being like part of my body is cut out. And please don't do this to like make your legs look skinnier or things like that. That will look weird. Don't do that. But just try to get it. So as I'm doing this, again, I'm kind of going fast, but I thought that some of you would want to see how to do this. It's really simple. And honestly, it's way easier when you have a white background, and it's easier when you are predominantly in the picture. this one is just really easy to crop and or erase, and that's why I do that. So then what I can do is, once this is all done, I pretty much did it. I look a little weird here, so I'm gonna put myself on the edge. I am going to save this now. So it's gonna be under export. They actually have a save feature on here, so if you're in the middle of a graphic and they didn't have that before. It's like you had to work on your graphic or you would lose it. So I'm just gonna type Julianne, I'm gonna save export to computer, make it part of my desktop, and leave it there. So then now what I'm going to do is I am going to create a cover photo. And if you are on this call and you do not have a cover photo, this is how we're going to do it. And that's going to be your assignment tonight. So what you do, this is really cool, you guys. If you look at all of the different ones you can do, if you have a YouTube channel, you can make one that fits YouTube, Twitter, all those things. So I'm going to look here. So you can do a Facebook profile. You can do, so here's a group cover photo. I don't know why Facebook has all these different sizes. It's just amazing. Business photo. Here we go. Here's the cover photo, like a regular cover photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the butterfly button again, and I'm going to add my own from my computer, and here I am. And there I am. You can't tell, but if I were to add color to it, look, that's my eraser job. So I can actually re-erase it. So I'll show you. Where is this thing? Hold on one second. If I click my photo, so if I hit apply, if I click my photo, I can get my eraser back and you can still do it. So if I were to do this, you see how I can still erase it into the background. So that's kind of nice. But that's why I like to have a white one, because my patience is sometimes not wanting to be so precise. So that's why I like just going with the white. So say this is going to be part of my thing, okay? I would probably want to put it on this. This is another cool thing. If I hit this button, it just switched sides. Did you see that? So now I can put myself on this side, because if you think about your cover, your profile pictures right here, right? So I'm a big fan of adding geometric shapes. So you guys will see me a lot of times use rectangles and things like that. So I'm going to show you what I can do. I'm going to make this very simplistic. I'm going to hit send to back. So there I am. Again, there's a way for me to make this not look as blotchy because I didn't do a really good job of erasing. So I could go and click my picture. I could click eraser and I could get way smaller and then do it and do whatever. You see how people do that and they look all choppy like this. Please don't make yourself look like that. I see pictures like that and I'm like, no, don't ever erase yourself if that's what it's gonna look like. I can hit the back, but for right now we're just gonna keep it like that. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys back because I moved that. So then what I can do here is, what's nice about this, you guys, is that I would always lose my text. Like here, I'll show you an example. If I click the T and I picked impact, we'll do choose happy. That's my like page. I'm going to make it pink. I'm going to make it big, whatever. This is what would get frustrating. If I was like clicking on something, I was like, oh, I can't get my text. Like, this is so annoying. If you just click this down here, it selects it for you. So if I was like, I want the choose happy, all I'd have to do is scroll on this, click it, and voila, it highlights it for you. Otherwise, you're like, I was like clicking on a million things and I couldn't get it because it's like different sizes. So I'm going to get rid of that for now. But for my line, I could make it white and then make my line yellow, okay? You can do that, but say you wanted a thicker line, you could just do this. This is going to be a really cool tool. I'm going to show you this. This is what makes me really excited when I figured this out. I actually watched a YouTube video of someone with PicMonkey that's a Beachbody coach, and it helps me a lot. I'm very resourceful when it comes to figuring things out, so then I just like to share my knowledge. Say I'm like, dang, I don't remember what color I used, or like, how do I get to that yellow? What you do is just select the color you want to change, click the actual picture. So I clicked on it, click this little drop thing, and I can go right here, bam, and it made it the same color, which is really awesome, right? So what I'll do now is I'll add some text. So I can say choose happy. I always use the coffee break one and the impact. That's by far my number one, like, couple ones that I use, if that makes sense. I'm very much the same when it does that. So again, I can figure out which ones I want to use. If I go to effects, this is really cool. I can do a drop shadow, and I can do a different color behind that. So say I wanted white, and then I can even do more with it. I can blend it so then it pops out more, if that makes sense. Or I can do a knockout. I don't do that one as much, but that looks really cool. If I were to make this, see, look, I'm trying to click on these shapes and it's not letting me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my rectangle. There we go. That's not the one I wanted. Say I wanted to make this one bigger, and then I want to click on choose happy. Again, find this, click it. I can make it bigger. That kind of looks really cool, or like funky. I don't know. You can mess with it, but there's things in here that I'm still learning. So with the choose happy, if you wanted to go back to it, but I don't like, well, let's say I don't like that effect, then you can go to inner shadow. And again, you can always change the color of it and do crazy things. But I think it looks awesome. And there's just like so many creative ways to make it look cool. I think you just have to trust the process that you're going to get better at making graphics, if that makes sense. Do you guys have any questions so far about things that I do on here? I'm going to look in the chat real fast. Oh, yay. I'm so glad, Heather. That's awesome. Do you guys have any questions or things that you've seen me do that you want to know how to do with PicMonkey? This was kind of like a quick version of this is what I do, and then you can export it and save it. Again, you have different options. If I were to go here, you can add different, but again, I don't mess around with having all these different borders. I keep mine very simple, and I repeat a lot of what I do, where it's as simple as that. Let me check the chat real fast. How do you go back if you want to change something? Perfect, Katie. So what I would do, if I wanted to do that, there's a back button right here. So I can just click this. I'll show you guys how I do a welcome, a coach welcome. So I always typically try to do the same thing. So again, I'll go to design. I'll go to Instagram. I don't know why it's doing this. This is so weird. It's driving me nuts because it doesn't do that when I'm sharing. There we go. You just have to do it 2 times and it's the magical amount. So say I'm going to do a coach welcome or a rank advancement. I can show you a couple of things that I do. So let's see who we can welcome. We will welcome, I'll just welcome myself. Is that weird? So what I'll do is I will go to, actually, yeah, okay. I'll go to someone's Facebook page and then get their profile picture. This one is not going to be a good fit. So I'm going to delete this one. Let's go right here. So if I went to my profile, I would click on their profile picture, and sometimes coaches, like new coaches, don't have good ones, so you might have to scroll a little bit. I wouldn't pick this one for a welcome. Sometimes I would pick like one where they're mainly in it, but if their spouse is in it, it's totally fine. So you click the butterfly, click add own, and then go to desktop, and it's right there. Click it. And this is what I do. You guys don't make your graphics look like mine if it's not your style. Does that make sense? This is not like the only way to welcome coaches. This is just a simple formula that I do, that I've been doing for a long time, that I don't have to think about it. When a new coach comes, I'm not like spending that much time on it. Does that make sense? So what I do is I usually fade the picture, and then I go to the shapes and I put a rectangle. And then what I do with that is sometimes I'll use a color. If I do, I'll definitely fade it where it's like that. You can even make this bigger and make the people a different color, or again, you could click their picture and make them a different color. But I just do the fade. So for the rectangle, I typically will go and do it white. And then what I'll do is I'll try to pick up an accent color. So I'm noticing red in there. So I'll click that. Does that make sense? And then if I'm congratulating them or welcoming them, I'll show you. I used, again, the same fonts. I like to keep consistency, but I think my mom says I'm OCD and she's being serious, and I think she might be right. So I literally just like have tendencies where I need to keep them the same for my mind. So I could do welcome. Oh, and do you want to see how I put in the team logo? Would you guys be interested in that? And the team logo is available to you. It's available to you in the files tab, so you can use it, or I can even put it below in the comments. So I probably would maybe capitalize all of this, and then you can add fun things, and then you can add like different things, but again, and then what I want to do is I want to do an effect. I'm going to do a drop shadow on this one, and I'm going to do red. And then for my name, I'll do like an orange or something. I'd probably use a red. And then you can make it bigger. Again, you can stick it out of the box if you want. It doesn't matter. And then you can do a drop shadow and do whatever with it, if that makes sense. So if I wanted to add a team logo, which you guys should totally do on your pictures, I think it's super fun when you do transformation photos or coach welcomes, coach announcements, people going emerald, things like that. So what I do, and I'll help you guys download this so you know where to find it. Where is it? So I have all these Beachbody folders. So I just type in happy. So we have a team logo that you guys are part of this team, so you can do. So I just click on it, which is cool, right? I don't want this dang white box around it, and I'm not trying to erase all around that cursive. So what I'm going to do is I click the photo, I'm going to hit blend modes, and I'm going to hit darken. Voila. Do you see how it's just by itself? You can do this to some pictures as well. And if I click it, bam, I can change the color. How flipping cool is that? So then I would do same color. You can put it up in the corner. You can put it small. You can put it right here, like welcome to Team Happy and Fit. Does that not look cool? Like having that in there, how legit does that look? So again, when I was showing you Rebecca's welcome, or Rebecca's emeralds. And again, you guys, I think your story matters more than having perfected graphics for welcomes and things like that. Like, don't spend all your time doing this, please. You just have to understand that this has been like me learning PicMonkey, and I'm not saying I'm the best at it, but I actually like creating graphics. But I just used different fonts, and then I messed around with it, and then I just added Team Happy and Fit. But what matters more is the story of you sharing the person, right, and welcoming them. Spend more time on introducing them versus spending more time on your graphics. And then I think a lot of times in this business, we spend so much time on the sexy stuff and the fun stuff versus like the stuff that's going to move your business forward. So that's just some encouragement that I have for you guys. I know that this was like a quick thing, but I just wanted to help you create graphics that you feel very encouraged by and feel honored to do. Do you guys have any questions about PicMonkey? Do you have any questions about any ways I make my graphics or things that you've seen on my social media that you are curious about? And you can put it in the comments or love it. Thank you for the feedback. I know again that this was quick, but I really just want to encourage you guys to take ownership of your business and make it look professional, if that makes sense. Always keep evaluating your social media. I try to have, yay, Caitlin, thank you, sister. I appreciate it. And again, like in your tracker, which mine looks very blank today, and I'm going to be doing it right after this. And I have a group of accountability with ladies that it is empty, but I'm going to be doing it because I cannot go to bed until I say, did I win the day? And I did not win the day. Do you add this kind of thing to your regular post often? Great question. I'll answer that in one moment. So when it says post and team page, use the graphics, like use PicMonkey, you make that be like, you know what, I'm going to give someone a shout out and I'm going to practice my PicMonkey skills. So I'm going to take like 10 minutes and practice with PicMonkey and learn how to do this by giving people shout outs. I've shared this before. Eric goes through these trackers every day. And one of his goals with the team, because he doesn't have a lot of PS coaches yet, is that it's to comment on 5 people's posts and then do 1 post to the team page. That is his daily tracker that he has. And so I encourage you guys, if you don't have a lot of PS coaches yet and you don't know who to shout out, you don't know what to do, well, welcome people to the team and then make a graphic, whether it's about a shout out or some kind of motivational quote or something, and practice becoming that professional business owner, if that makes sense. So Katie, for your question on my social media, I try not to. I mean, I shouldn't say I try not to. I just don't like a lot of wording on my pictures. I think that if you were to think about it in a magazine, which ones are you more tailored to be attracted to when you're looking at a magazine? When you're looking at the celebrities, or are you looking at the ads? I think ads have a lot of words, and I think all of the other stuff, the picture sells, right? So for me, I think it's really important to evaluate that. So as you're looking here, it's funny because I'm like, are your pictures light? But Eric tagged me in this and it's a little dark. I know that's a little bit like harsh. It's not. It's a beautiful, our anniversary is today and it was the sweetest shout out. But I'm just saying in general, like my pictures are going to be brighter. I'm going to be predominantly in them. If you can see this, like I'm mainly in it, right? And I use ColourPop for this one. But again, your story is what's important. Take people through this journey. I didn't say, I'm having my super juice, see you guys later. I'm holding up my Energize. I've talked about Energize in my other posts, but I'm also just sharing something, okay? So you won't see a lot of wording on mine. This is like as much as wordy as it gets, but if you can see, I faded my background. This is word swag, and I have your mean girl cannot survive in a state of love, and that was just my thing, but again, it's your story that matters. But as you're seeing, I did post this one that I have right there. But otherwise, I try to be predominantly in my pictures. You guys, this was just done with a timer, and I took like 10 pictures. Another app I really like, it kind of makes you look glowy. Have you guys seen those where like, how do these people look so glowy? Where I look on social media and I'm like, those people don't look like that in real life. I have really blotchy red skin. One, I try not to use a whole lot of filters because I don't want to find myself more beautiful in filters. And that was happening with Snapchat with the pretty filter. I don't want that. I want to love the skin I'm in. This is the journey of coaching. And I think coaching is so much finding out your value and who you are. And I don't want to be evaluated through only filters. However, I will use black and white ones if they're more dark pictures, right? I will make them look a little bit more glowy if I need. I work out really early in the morning, so I don't always have the best light. So with this one, I made it's a little glowy. And that's not because I'm naturally glowing. So what I use, it's called Photo Wonder. Photo Wonder. So if you download, it's a star. And it's like a star on there, but Photo Wonder. If I click edit on Photo Wonder, here, I'll show you what Photo Wonder looks like. Photo Wonder is right there. Do you see it? It's the star. If I click Photo Wonder, this is going to pop up. Right here. I'm going to click edit. So I click edit. I bring up a picture. So I brought up this picture right here. It's just the first one I clicked, right? I'm going to click that picture. Once I click that, there are options. I think that apps that like make you manipulate your face is super weird, but this one is one of those. But right here, I'm gonna click effects. No, I'm gonna click beautify. Do you see that one right there where it says beautify? I'm gonna click that. It's a lipstick. And then I'm gonna click one click. I think it says one click. It's the very first one. It's a little blurry. I'm gonna click that. And it literally makes me look more glowy. So those are ones that I use. Those people who have like really bright lights, they will probably use this one to even enhance the lighting, if that makes sense. But again, please don't make yourself look fake, false, and not real. I think it's just really, so this one was Canva that I used. I didn't go through Canva. You guys, I really don't use Canva a whole lot. But some people like Canva more than PicMonkey. Some people, it just depends on your style. This one's cool because it can create the things for you. You can put the, you know, the pictures in the holes of like the circles where you see those ones. I don't know why I'm so impatient with it. But you can find different layouts and templates and pay for some and get some for free. But I'm not a big Canva user, but I don't think it's bad, if that makes sense. Again, this is like not the best quality picture, and that's something I evaluate myself, right? I think transformations are awesome. I use Photofy for this. I did a side-by-side. Photofy, you can do the mirror image if you want. I timed myself on this one against a clear wall. I use a lot of graphic tees. Again, it's dark, it's fine, it is what it is. But do you guys see how I'm mainly in my pictures? I love to use landscaping, or not the landscape, whatever that one is that gets the whole thing. I literally am a lot of loss for words today, and I'm not sure why. What is that called? Time lapse? No. What is it?
Panoramic?
Thank you. But I'm just sharing this. Liz made that one for me. I don't know. But if you guys look at my phone, after one workout, I have like 10 pictures of me, right? When I took this picture, I took 10 others. I had to find the right angle, the right one, the one that I liked, if that makes sense. But then also I can reuse them. Right here, Shift Shop, how you can get the logo in. If you want to add a logo, to a workout, you can do this. Have you guys seen that? Where it's like, okay, Insanity Max 30 logo. If I click that, go to images, I'm going to go to the white one, probably, put it there, it saves. I go to PicMonkey, I go to add own, go to my computer, desktop, my Insanity Max here. Let's see if it will fade it. Sometimes it does. If I go to darken, voila, it's right in there. So if you do like the powered by Shakeology, powered by Beachbody On Demand, if you see those, this is how those people are doing it. Okay. So that's how the Shift Shop one got in there. And then the day 1, day 21. And then I like to add my watermark when I'm using Instagram, because there are creepy people who will steal your transformation and be like, oh, because of this like product, this person lost this weight. And you're like, no, I didn't. I worked really hard on a workout and in real nutrition, but they try to like advertise your transformation for their product that you did not use. So that's why I like to watermark mine. For that, again, if you can just tell, it's like I'm in my pictures, you guys. I'm not hiding. Again, this is me unedited. It's blotchy, wrinkly eyes, all that kind of stuff. This is black and white. I edited it, but I'm mainly in it. Do you see that? You don't have to always be in your pictures. This is us doing another. This is how do you see how it's blurred? The background's blurred. That's the app I told you about. Avery, I don't know, Aviary. And I just like, I blurred the background and then I stick out. And then I save it, and then I go to Photofy and I put it in the Insta Square. I will hands down use Photofy every single day to put myself in Insta Square. Every single picture I have has the same white edges. And the reason I have it like that is because I want every picture to be the same size. I don't want, I just don't want the large, the like whatever. I want everything the same. See my edges? Again, I'm mainly in my picture. Do you see that? Timer. I time and take selfies. These are all based on timers. Eric is a human selfie stick, which comes in handy. He is 6'8", so that helps. This, I blurred the edges. When there's too much in the background, right? I blurred it all. There was so much in the background, and then I stick out, and then I made it black and white, and then I went right back to Photofy and made that happen. Insta Square, you see it. This is the glow. This is a glow one. This isn't my natural skin. That's all glow. That's all an app. I'm not always in my pictures, but I'm telling a story. Someone took that. This is the wall I always use. I find a white wall, you guys, with good lighting, and I stick to it. I think it makes your pictures way better. I see right here, and I'll go to a couple more. Oh, Siri went off. Isn't that so creepy? I blurred the background a little bit. And then taking a picture of food, sharing a story. If I'm taking food pictures, I probably take 5 or 6. I do it on top. Sometimes there's a shadow. I do it from an angle. I try to do all different food pictures just to see. This is against a wall. Blurred it. This was just on timer. Timer, blurred it a little bit. Use the glow. So sometimes I use black and white. This is the glow feature. Can't you tell? Like it's, I mean, it's not like it's bad, but it's definitely glowy. So I try not to always use filters, if that makes sense. And just, so this is a different angle of food. It looked better, if that makes sense. So I've been trying to share my journey with food, one, to keep myself accountable, and one, to, this is word swag. So I don't always, if you notice, maybe every 20 pictures, every 30 pictures, there's text. So otherwise, I try to just make it just me in there. All right, are there any other questions? Do you add this kind of thing to your regular posts often? Oh, I saw that. Did I answer that question? Yeah, that was the PICMONKEY. Do you guys have any questions about anything? I think this is just gonna hopefully make you feel more confident. If you guys are 2 feet in with your business, you just have to know Beachbody is a delay result business. There are going to be many frustrating times. There's going to be defeating times. You're going to feel in the valley. You're going to feel like you got off track, all that stuff. But if you think long term with Beachbody, it's miraculous. It's amazing. I'm always just like mind blown what's going to happen in the next 5 years. So if you think long term with this and trust that you're going to get better, you will. That is the truth. You are going to become better the longer you do this. And again, start practicing. If you are taking this seriously, and I don't want you to overwhelm yourself, I'll be the first to tell you, get in, get out. Trina Gray was the first to tell me that. I check my inbox messages twice a day. I have all of my notifications off. A lot of you message me. If it's a coach, I'll probably take 2 days to message you back. I don't want to put that pressure on myself that in 24 hours I'm going to message every coach back. But you guys have to also understand that I'm in a different place right now. So my inbox right now is looking at 50 plus messages. So, and I would say half of that are coaches, right? Which is awesome, and I love it. And I'm like thankful for that. But at the end of the day, I have to do my business first. And that's me being in my inbox, sending out messages, creating. I'm all about attraction marketing, where I would rather have people come to me than me go to people. And how people are going to come to you is your social media, your vulnerability. I'm not saying spill all your dirty secrets and creep people out. I'm just saying, I was telling someone today, I was like, yeah, in my workout today, literally when I was jumping up and down, it was painful because of my back muscles, extra skin, whatever it is, was bouncing, and it like was hurting, and I was like laughing about it. But like, have you ever done that where you're like moving and you're like, why are my thighs moving like that? One time I did a burpee and my thighs clapped so loud, like it clapped together, that Eric was like, what was that? Don't worry about it, like you don't understand. But I was just like laughing. But like, that's a vulnerable post that I can share, that you guys were all nodding and you're like, oh, I get you, girl, I get you. Where I'm like, I should have posted about that. That's a vulnerable post. So when you share vulnerability, it doesn't have to be this like, oh my gosh, when I was 12, I did this and it was like such a mistake, or like this, like that's not what I mean, airing your dirty laundry. But I am talking about being vulnerable enough to share your struggles and insecurities. I had a coach just tell me, she's like, Julianne, the thing that scares me the most in this business is what people think. And when me and posting on social media, but I've posted on social media, and every time I post on social media, I put my phone away and go to the other room. And I looked at her and I said, you are the most courageous person I've ever met, because most people would run away from it and not do it. But instead you're heading it full on. And I said, 3 months from now, you're going to feel so confident with social media because you're doing it anyway. So I just really encourage you guys, be vulnerable anyway. If you would rather have people come to you, evaluate your social media. Are you getting raw, real, authentic and sharing this journey? Or are you just being like, I rocked my workout today. Okay, cool. I hate working out, right? That's what someone's thinking. But just be like, during my workout today, I couldn't stop looking at myself in the mirror because I've been working so hard and I still can't see my muscle. That frustrates me. However, I know I'm in this for health and not for looks. So that's just something I have to get through. Have you guys ever thought that? That's a thought that's gone through my head in my workouts of like, oh my gosh, I've worked so hard. Where are my freaking muscles? And I'm like, Eric, can you see them yet? Can you see them? Can you see them? And now he's like, yeah, I can. I'm like, all right, I'm making it. It's just harder for me to build muscle. And I think it's because I have more estrogen in my body. But anyway, that's a side note. So get vulnerable with people. Find your pain points. People love problems. They love them. So create them with solutions and hope, okay? You guys are amazing. Thanks for being on. Let me know if you have any PicMonkey questions. I'm going to add our team graphic, our team logo in our team page, and now you know how to add them to graphics. How cool would it be for a new coach coming to our team and you putting Team Happy and Fit logo on it? Would that not make them feel like they're really a part of this team? I think so. Or you can even use it on your own graphics, like in the corner, right? To photo mark that. So I'm here, or watermark that. I'm so proud of you guys. Rock it out. Remember, success is not above you, and there's no secret to this thing. It's just about showing up every day, and spend more time doing the unsexy stuff than the sexy stuff. Graphics are fun, and taking a million selfies is great, and all that stuff. But what's going to move your business forward is you creating amazing stories and also spending time in your inbox. So I believe in all of you. I'll talk to you later, okay?